Okay, in this video we're going to begin the lesson on Chapter 1, Section 2, which is solving a two-step equation. Our goal being to solve multi-step equations, and our essential question being how can we use multi-step equations to solve real-life problems. So I have listed over on the right side the order of different operations that we're going to use in solving, or a list of strategies in order of precedence that we're going to use to solve multi-step equations. I will start with the first example here. So we have 2.5x minus 13 is equal to 2. There's nothing to distribute here. There's nothing on either side to combine, so we can simply start by using addition to add 13 to both sides, and that will leave us with 2.5x is equal to 15. We're going to then divide both sides by 2.5, and we end up with x being equal to 6. So this is a simple example of how we use, or how we go about, solving multi-step equations using the strategies in the order that are listed on the right side. Okay, then we'll continue with the second example. In the second example, we have negative 12 is equal to 9x minus 6x plus 15. And here we see that we actually do have something that we can simplify, or like terms that can be combined before we begin to isolate the variable using the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division properties of equality. So first thing we can do is 9x minus 6x, which gives us a total of 3x plus 15 and a negative 12 on the left side. Then we're going to use our properties of equality, subtraction and addition before multiplication and division, and that leaves us with 3x on the right is equal to negative 27 on the left. And remember that negative 12 plus negative 15, or negative 12 minus 15, is equal to negative 27. This is not negative 12 minus negative 15. We then divide both sides by 3, and we end up with x is equal to negative 9. So these are two examples of multi-step equations that can be solved using the strategies listed in the green box in the upper right corner. Alright, I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to work through three examples, or a few examples of these types of equations. So take a moment to look at what's here, and if you need to, you can rewind, replay to get the basic ideas there. And I'm going to go on to the practice problems now. Okay, so there are three examples here that are going to practice the two-step solutions or strategies, and then also a simplifying or combining like terms before we begin to do the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division properties of equality. First problem, negative 2n plus 3 is equal to 9. No distribution, nothing to simplify. We're going to subtract 3 from both sides. 3 from both sides, and we have negative 2n is equal to 6. Dividing both sides by 2, we have n is equal to negative 3. In the second example, we have negative 21 is equal to 1/2 of c minus 11. Again, nothing to distribute here. There's nothing that can be simplified or like terms to be added before we begin. So we're simply going to begin with the addition property, adding 11 to both sides. Negative 21 plus 11 is equal to negative 10. And on the right side we have 1/2 of c. So what this question is saying is half of a number is equal to negative 10. What is that number? Not what is half of negative 10, but half of what number is equal to negative 10, and our answer should come out to be negative 20. Half of negative 20 is negative 10. Well, how can we show that? We're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1/2, which is either 2 or 2 over 1. When we do that, on the right side, now some people will also like to put the negative 10 over 1. Sorry, that flipped back to the previous screen. Some people will put negative 10 over 1 and multiply that. You'll get negative 20 over 1, which is just negative 20. Remembering that anything divided by 1 is the number itself. And on the right side, whenever we multiply two reciprocals, 1/2 times 2 over 1, we will always get 1, and 1 times anything is itself. So therefore, we get 1c, or simply c, is equal to negative 20 for the second example. For the third example, we have negative 2x minus 10x plus 12 is equal to 18. And here we can do some simplification, combining like terms, before we begin to use addition and subtraction or multiplication and division. So negative 2x minus 10x is negative 12x plus 12 is equal to 18. Then we're going to subtract 12 on both sides, and we have negative 12x is equal to 6. Dividing both sides by negative 12, we end up with x is equal to negative 1/2. And so we've seen 3 more examples of using addition subtraction property before multiplication and addition, and then we've also seen examples of before we do either of those we use simplification or combining like terms. In the next video we're going to go on to look at examples that have distribution. So this is another type, more complicated type of problem or multi-step equation that we need to solve.